Peace, everybody. How you doing? This is Mikey-Ice from Mikey-Ice TV. I want to welcome you guys to a special episode, one of my first that I've done with the rock dance. I'm going to be interviewing King Up Rock, originally from Brooklyn, and we're going to be hearing his story today. I'm very excited because it's a huge honor for me to be able to document my first, up rockers. So we're just going to welcome him. So thank you, everybody that's watching. Who we got in here? Art of Flow. There he is. How you doing today,
I'm
brother?
good, brother. Thanks.
Okay. Let me just get my thing working again. Now?
I can hear you.
Oh, perfect. Thank you, brother. King Up Rock. Let me just say some nice things about you first, though, brother. Like, when I first seen, the rock dance, like when you were doing it, I was very impressed, though, because when I seen it on B Street and when I seen it in Star Wars, I knew that your style was different from theirs because I was told that was like the Manhattan and then the Bronx style, though, right? When they would do the rock dance, like in Star Wars when they were battling each other. Is that true?
Yeah, that was. I guess that's their style. They never learned. They never learned the original style.
Right, right. So when I seen your style, I was very impressed by it, and I thought to myself, like, for this guy got size on him though, but yo, he's killing the game though, bro. Like, you know, and it was just an honor to see you dance, and I just kind of wanted to say that for you because we never really got a chance to talk. I remember one time I met you at the Mighty Ford. You remember that?
Yes.
And I want to speak on that too as well. But I just want to start with you. I want to wish you a happy New Year, and I just want to ask you, like, where was you born at first?
I was born in the Bronx,
Bronx?
but I moved to
In the
Brooklyn.
Bronx.
I moved to Brooklyn. I was going to be 6 years old in
Okay.
1969. I moved to Bushwick, Brooklyn.
Ooh. Okay. So when you was like living in the Bronx, so like when you seen breaking when it first basically started to develop, though, right?
Well, in the '60s, there was nobody breaking really.
Oh,
I mean,
oh, right,
I
right.
was still a kid. I was like 6 years old, so I wasn't in the streets and anything. But what happened was the landlord knew my parents,
Mm-hmm.
and they were trying to burn the building down for insurance because there were people not paying the rent. People came from the
Okay.
Vietnam War, so they was like, listen, you guys gotta, we'll let you know, move out because we're gonna burn the building down. So my grandmother, my father's mother, had a house in on Clinton Avenue,
Okay.
downtown Brooklyn, and she lent my father, I think it was 25,000 for a house back then. That's how much it cost in the
Mm-hmm.
'60s. So we moved to Bushwick, Brooklyn, on Cornelia and on Wilson.
Oh, oh, nice. Man, that must have been a very good time for you, like back in those days, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was young. A lot of people don't. Some people know me, they know I play instruments. So I was at 5 years old. I started to learn how to play piano and drums. I'm
Oh,
a
okay.
drummer. Yeah, I play music.
Nice.
Yeah.
King King Up, I want to ask you because for my knowledge though too as well, like when I hear about this dance, they said it was called the rock, though,
Yeah.
right? Was it because of rock music or was a style of dance that you were doing that it got labeled the rock?
Well, the thing is that the word rock was used in so many different ways. You used it in slang, like today everybody has a different slang. Like if
Right.
I want to play you basketball, I would say, yo, I'm gonna rock you on the court. You know.
Oh, yes.
So if you was with a girl, I'm a rock a world. The
Oh,
word
true.
rock was used for many different things. But the dance itself, from the first generation guys, they call it the rock dance you know, that was really more. We started from the Outlaws, you know,
Oh,
the
the
gangs.
Outlaws.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
that makes sense. So,
when you know the Outlaws did it, it was more of a street thing. But then when I guess when they took it to competition wise, then it changed it up the game, you know, of the dance. So that made it
okay,
more open for the second generation like myself and others.
second
Yeah,
generation. Okay.
that it gave it a chance to make it more competitional, you know.
Mm.
So it wasn't more like a because when it was a gang thing, you know, a lot of parents wouldn't allow this like guys like myself, even though we were still young, you know, to be part of a gang. So you know, even though later on I became like a baby rebel, you know, for a while.
Oh, you
Yeah,
came a baby rebel.
because I
Okay.
learned from the Devil Rebels. Those were the guys I learned
Oh,
from.
so from your understanding, like, would you say Black Space was one of the biggest gangs in New York?
Well, Black Spades are from the Bronx. You know, in Brooklyn we had another gang. The brothers they were called the Tomahawks.
The Tomahawks. I never heard of that.
Yeah, you know, in the Warriors,
Hmm.
remember they had in the end when they come to Coney Island, I think they were the Riffs. They were all
Right.
the brothers. Well, they were trying to become the Tom. They know they were really like representing the Tomahawks.
Oh, okay.
So the Tomahawks was to me, one of the biggest gangs in New York City.
Oh, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So during that time when this rock dance thing was going on, was that a Puerto Rican thing, or was Black people just involved with it just as well, or was it more like Boricua?
Well, it was more Puerto Ricans, but we had brothers in.
Why is that?
Huh?
Why is that though? Like, why was it kind of leaning more towards like Boricuas, even though there's a lot of Black people in
Because the
Brooklyn too as
brothers were
well?
doing more step. They had a dance called the Steppers,
All the steppers.
and they
Okay.
were more into that and more into like the bump. There was a dance called the bump. You know,
Yeah.
so there was different dances, but you know, like even like in the hustle, there were brothers who had hustle, but then like a lot of Spanish people did the hustle because of the salsa, they call it Latin.
Mm. Oh,
Yeah,
thank
yeah,
you.
yeah.
That makes sense.
Because we know
Because during that time,
we did more picking up the girl, twirling her around, turning her, you know, all the crazy acrobatic stuff. That was more
hmm.
the Latino thing.
Oh, oh, nice. And what year would you say that was?
That's in the early '70s that you know the hustle was coming out. But if you look
Yeah,
at
because I remember.
the basic hustle step was more like a, well, you say it was six step in a b-boy move. You know, it's more like a little step and you just move around and stuff. But when it came to more of the acrobatics, it was like maybe 73, 74, like that. It started getting, you know, the Latinos started putting more flavor to it,
Okay.
you know.
Right. Thank you for sharing that with me, King of Rock. Um, there's a few things that I kind of want to jump right into it though, because this question has been on my mind like for a long